Hi, and welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network. I am Zoe Sozo, live here at CPAC 2021 in Orlando, Florida. I am joined by none other than the Ben Carson himself in the figure here. But Ben Carson, so many great things you've done, a well-established man of many titles. I know that you'll be speaking here at CPAC later, but I want to speak with you more so about, your role in the Trump administration and what you'll be speaking about today or here at CPAC as well.
Sure. Well, of course, the last 4 years were spent as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and our goal was really to change the definition of success in that agency, away from how many people we get into a program to how many we get out of a program, how many people we can make self-sufficient. And we made some very excellent progress with that. In the process of leaving, I wanted to really relax and play golf and enjoy my life, but looking at the direction of our country, I really couldn't do that. So a number of the spectacular people that work with me at HUD and myself decided to start a new, not just a think tank, but a do tank called the American Cornerstone Institute. And it really focuses on those cornerstone principles that allowed us to go from a ragtag bunch of militiamen to the pinnacle of the world in record time. And those are cornerstones like our faith which teaches us how to relate to our fellow man, so that we don't wind up with things like cancel culture, which are antithetical to the American principles, and things like liberty. People came here from all over the world so that they could be free. They could lead their lives the way they wanted to. They could work as hard or as little as they wanted, and they could be the ones who benefit or don't benefit, as long as they're not disturbing other people. That was the real beauty of America. And the opposite appears to be happening now, where you have the government wanting to be involved with every aspect of your life. And we need to fight that vigorously and help people to understand that the reason that we became such a pinnacle power is because we allowed the entrepreneurship and the vitality of the people to actually produce for us, and we didn't try to rein that in. And then the whole concept of community. We've always been a nation where people helped each other.
Exactly.
If it was harvest time and a farmer broke his leg, everybody pitched in and harvested his crop. No one even asked any questions about it. Now we have a situation where most people are still like that, but now you have the media and you have the politicians coming in and trying to convince you that that person who lived peacefully with you across the street for the last 20 years is your enemy because they have a different political sign in their yard.
Right.
All of that obviously is extremely destructive. And then life. From the womb to the tomb, we need to respect life. Exactly. And as we've discarded that respect, we've become much more callous and much more coarse in our interactions with each other. And we need to change that. And we need to start this at a young age.
Yes.
We'll be launching something this summer called the Little Patriots. And we want to start teaching them the right history of America and do away with this foolishness.
Exactly.
That is indoctrinating them. It was Karl Marx who said, give me your young people for 3 or 4 years and I'll have them for life.
Exactly.
Well, the same applies to us, and we need to make sure we teach them the right thing.
Exactly. And they started in the university, started in the high school with corrupting the minds of our young children, and that's where we are today. So with that, what is your advice to young conservatives who are in this movement and who would like to make a change, but someone like yourself, a well-known figure, the leftists are refusing to highlight all of your well-established things that you've done in your life, and why do you think it is that they refuse to highlight figures like yourself in the black community and really any other community?
Well, you have to recognize that figures like myself go against the grain of victimhood. When you start telling people what they can do instead of what they can't do because somebody's stopping them,
Exactly.
they don't want that message.
Oh yeah, they're looking for sheep.
Exactly. So I would encourage young people to be courageous, to know that you're going to face headwinds. Don't get discouraged and go hide in the corner and hope that nobody sees you. That's not the way it works. If you want to be the land of the free, you also have to be the home of the brave. And this is a fight every bit as important as the Revolutionary War that was fought a few hundred years ago. And if we don't win it, America as we know it is gone. So it is worth the struggle. And if more of us get out there and speak, it becomes a lot more difficult for them to cancel you or do anything
Right.
else. We just have to be willing to do it.
Exactly. We must be resilient. So in the next 5 years, where do you think America is going to go with this new administration? And of course, they're starting their plans right now for destruction, but of course, we will not allow that to happen. But where do you think it could possibly go?
Well, I'm an optimist.
Yes, you have to be.
And God plays the long game. And it's actually good that the leftists are in right now because people can actually see what they're doing.
Show their true colors.
You know, you wouldn't have believed it otherwise. People told you that they were going to do it. Oh, nah, they're not that bad. Now we see it.
Exactly.
And it's like slapping you in the face with a cold fish. I think it's going to wake people up to really realize how dangerous and detrimental this is to the whole concept of the American dream and the American way of life. And realize that there's no other country that has a dream. Have you thought about that? There's no
Right.
French dream or Canadian dream or Nigerian
It's the
dream. There's
American
only an
dream.
American dream.
American dream.
And it is a destination place for people around the world. We have to keep it that way. But that means we have to adhere to those cornerstone principles that got us there.
Exactly. And Ben, I just want to just hear what you have to say as far as the church. I believe that the church hasn't been doing their job with keeping our foundations established. And of course,
Yeah.
we've been sleeping. And now we wake up and we find ourselves where we are today in this fight. Of course, trying to stay on one side, not mentioning anything about politics in church
Sure.
because they say it is divisive. But what is your message to the church today?
You know, Alexis de Tocqueville, in his 2-volume analysis of America, when he ended it, he said, it is the church. And it is those fiery speeches that really held up principles that encouraged the people and gave them the strength to defeat the most powerful empire on earth. And the church has shied away from that now. The church wants to be woke. You know,
Right.
it wants to fit in. It was never the job of the church to fit in. It was the job of the church to lead,
Exactly.
to help people move in the right direction, and to help to point out what was moral and what was
Exactly.
right, and how do you treat your fellow man.
Exactly.
And as they've backed away from that, look what's happened to us.
Exactly.
In America, we're running around trying to cancel people.
Exactly.
We're trying to hurt people that disagree with us. How in the world did America ever get that way? The church plays a role
Exactly. So exactly what you said. It is time for the church to lead. Ben Carson, I would like to thank you so much for sitting down with us.
It
I
was
am
a pleasure.
honored to have this experience with you. And again, thank you to our viewers for watching us here at Right Side Broadcasting live in Orlando, Florida at CPAC 2021.